After reading the first Jedi Apprentice book, The Rising Force, I had to immediately jump into book 2, The Dark Rival, by Jude Watson. And Jude Watson will be writing the rest of this series. I think that they wanted a name like Dave Wolverton to give this series a little punch, and people know who Dave Wolverton is. So people didn't know who Jude Watson was, but Jude Watson made a name for herself in this series. Um, let's talk about the Dark Rival. So it takes place immediately after the end of the Rising Force. Both Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are on Bandamir. Obi-Wan's joining the Agra Corps, which he can't stand. And Qui-Gon is dealing with... He's representing the Jedi Council for the Governor Sontag, because they're having problems with the Arcona Mineral Harvest Corporation and Off-World Mining Corporation. Off-World Mining was run by Jemba, was the Hutt in the first book, and we get a reveal who's actually pulling the strings, which is Xanatos, Qui-Gon's former apprentice, who failed as an apprentice. And we find out Xanatos' backstory in this, which if you've read the comic Jedi the Dark Side, which I think next to no one read because Dark Horse was failing at the time, and it was too little too late on the Xanatos backstory there. But basically Xanatos was the son of basically a king of this planet, and Xanatos always had issues with the fact that he was taken away from his royalty. On his final test, his final mission as a Padawan of Qui-Gon's, they went back to his home world, and things went south. And that's where I'll leave that. But Xanatos is up to no good, and he wants revenge on Qui-Gon because he blames Qui-Gon for everything. And The Rising Force was an Obi-Wan centered story. Yes, we get Qui-Gon's perspective throughout, but Obi-Wan was the main character of that. I'd argue that The Dark Rival is a Qui-Gon story. We get Qui-Gon's perspective, and Qui-Gon's more of the protagonist than Obi-Wan is. Yes, Obi-Wan learns some things in it. He's taking the steps to becoming a great Jedi. But Qui-Gon's learning to let go of the past in this. Because he blames himself for Xanatos' failing. He blames himself that he didn't see the warning signs, that he couldn't help Xanatos more. And Xanatos is trash. He's a trash can. Just a bad guy. And we get a lightsaber duel in this. Kind of two lightsaber duels. It's fun. It's a lot shorter. It felt shorter than Rising Force. Not a whole lot happens. He has a scheme for ruining Bandamir, maybe not. Maybe he's doing something for profit. He's being a bad guy. And he's doing bad guy things. And I will say, I think that The Dark Rival, despite being shorter, is a step up from The Rising Force. And The Rising Force is incredible. It's just The Dark Rival's better. I think mainly it has to do with more Qui-Gon stuff and Qui-Gon having character development. And this is the first time, I think, in the EU we really get Qui-Gon stuff here. The exception of Cloak of Deception, this series is like the Qui-Gon series. Not a lot of Qui-Gon stuff in the EU, unfortunately. But overall, this is an incredible read. It's well worth your time. Another 5 out of 5 from me. I do like that we picked up immediately after The Rising Force. So it makes me curious because I don't remember all of these Jedi Apprentice books. Makes me wonder if we're immediately the next day for the next book, The Hidden Past, which you'll have to find out next time. Have a good one.